hit the dirt, no rest for the real. Still spine straight, I'm a soldier, no chill. Snakes in the grass, they creep and conceal. 20/30 vision, better sharpen your steel. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Prepare for the lies, let the darkness live. Echoes in the swamp, whispers in the wind. Legacy to build, can't let the devil win. Cash rules the weak, but my soul don't bend. 20/30 knocking, better cleanse that sin. They want us to sleep, but the light stays on. Fake smiles, fake friends, all of them gone. Cages of comfort, we breaking out strong. Roots in the south, but the fight's lifelong. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Prepare for the storm, skies turning gray. The wolves in the suit got dues to pay. From the ashes we climb, no time to delay. The real ones prepare for the judgment day. Yeah.
We are working on the trade deals. One big beautiful bill is the center of the tax deal, and we are constantly deregulating and unleashing American energy, American manufacturing, and letting the American people keep more of their money.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent laying out President Trump's plan for economic growth. The newly released June jobs report hiring shattered expectations, easy for me to say. 147,000 jobs added just last month. Unemployment also ticked down to 4.1%. Let's bring in Stephen Myron, Council of Economic Advisors Chairman. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So 147,000 jobs beating expectations. What's your analysis of it?
This was a great report, and you know it's the fourth time in a row the president has beat expectations on Jobs Day, four times in a row. And not only did he beat expectations, but he beat the forecast for 78 out of 79 professional economists that submitted their forecast to the Bloomberg consensus. So that means the president is once again proving that the haters and the doomsayers don't know what they're talking about.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I am your host, Wise Man. Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear me okay. I know yesterday we started things off with some technical difficulties. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay and that the audio is all right. I think we're good to go, but put a 1 in the chat just to make sure that you guys can hear me all right, man. Hey, it's Independence Day. Happy 4th of July to you guys, man. I hope you guys keep your head on a swivel and enjoy the day. For those that don't want to support the 4th of July, in the sense of, you don't want to recognize the holiday. That's your business. Enjoy yourself anyway. It's still a day off, right? It's still a day off. Enjoy your day. It's a long weekend for everybody. This is the first time that the 4th of July has happened or landed on a Friday in quite some time. And you get that natural 3-day weekend, which is phenomenal. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I love a 3-day weekend. Love it. Love it. I do appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope all is well with you guys. I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful holiday, wonderful weekend. In the chat, man, let me know where you're tuning in from and what are your plans, man. Let me know what you got going on for today. If you are celebrating, if you plan to just chill in the house, let me know that too. Hey, man, I don't plan on going nowhere. I plan on chilling. Let me know in the chat what you guys got going on. Who's firing up the grill? I know my guy Quincy James is gonna fire up the grill today. I already know. Shout out to Jenny Rivas and Lori Addison. Shout out to you. Lori says, happy 4th of July. Please hit that like on the way in. Yes, please hit that like button for me. What's up, Redefined Queen? How you doing this morning? And what's up, Marla? Donald Lovejoy. What's up, Malachi? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, it's Friday, man. I know it's the 4th, but we're still going to do a show. It's not going to be as long as it was yesterday. Yesterday's show was long. It was 3 hours, but I thought it was a pretty good show. How many of you guys like the longer shows? Do y'all prefer the longer, 3-4 hour live streams? Would you guys prefer the shorter shows? You know what? Let's do that. Let me do something real quick. I want to put a poll in there. Let's start a poll and add some questions. Give me 1 second. Got to put a question in there. All righty. 1 hour or less. Or more. Let me see. Give me a second here. Bear with me. We're building as we fly. I want to put this in here. I just want to get you guys' thoughts on this. I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on the live streams. Do you guys enjoy the short, compact live streams? Do you guys like the longer versions? Do you like the panel shows? Do you like it when it's just me? I want to hear from you guys. Y'all like the mix? I probably should have added that in there. Do you like the mix? But we'll see what the results are. What's going on, Soul Driver and Diane and Mike P. Fitzpatrick? Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, John Verstraighten? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Rocky Trump, what's going on? Eric Smith, what's going on, man? He tells me to take the day off. Come on, man, we working. Now, I am taking some time off. We got a family reunion I got to travel to, and I am going to take some time off, a couple of days. So I wanted to make sure that I got it in today. So therefore, when I do take the time off, I can do that with a good conscience. What's up, Tyrone Rowe, South Carolina in the building? Shout out to you. What's up, Scott Jung? What's going on, man? Appreciate you guys pulling up. What's up, Jennifer Wagner? How you doing this morning? Happy 4th of July to you. We got Craig Arndt in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Jennifer says that she's, I'm just going to do this the easy way. Happy 4th of July. Okay. All right. What's up, Oscar Madison? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Oscar Madison. Where are your people from, Mr. Madison? I'd love to hear, where are your folks from? We got David Youngblood in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Who else we got up in here? Guy Wicken. All right. Idaho in the house. We got George Romero. Another Idahoan in the house. Okay. Leslie Aaron, how's it going this morning? Joseph Orsini, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. What's up, Zephyr? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Chad Winstead? What's going on, brother? Sugar Shane in the house. Seek Bergie in the house. Shout out to you all. Thank you guys for pulling up this morning. What's up, Mark? How's it going this morning, brother? All right, we got G Reggie in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Vanessa? How you doing this morning, sister? Now tell me, Vanessa, yet you're gonna stay around the crib. You're not going to the Washington. You're not going out there for the fireworks down at the Washington Mall. I hope you're not going there. It's always crazy. I've only gone, as long as I lived out here, I've gone once, and it was a nightmare. The parking, it was so crowded. And then getting out of there was just unreal. I was like, man, I told my wife, I was like, never again. We took the kids, and this is when the kids were younger. And it was cool, but it was a nightmare getting out of there, man. Oh my goodness. What's up, Brian Gable? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Well, y'all know, hey, Vanessa, why don't we hear about stuff like this? You know why you don't. Now, if this was the Biden administration, man, this would be force-fed down your throats. How well things are starting to go, right? But because it's not, hey, Mainstream media is not in the business of telling you how good the president is doing. They're just not in the business of doing that. You know, they're not in the business of doing it. All right, Whitey D. Main says, happy 4th of July. Happy 4th. Let's enjoy the beautiful day. No drinking and driving today or any day. Hey, I think that should be the rule every day of the week. No drinking and driving, Whitey D. Main. Hey, catch a ride, catch a Uber, something along those lines, Lyft, whatever it is that you use. Be safe out there on the roads. And y'all know them boys, they going to be out. So do not be out today on the shenanigans. Do not spend the long weekend behind bars. Don't do that. What's up, Dennis Brandon? How's it going? Pam Westcott, how you doing? Appreciate you all pulling up. Uh-oh. Chad said I was muted. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. All right, perfect. What's up, Chester? How's it going today? Appreciate you pulling up. Oh yeah, Vanessa, I like that. Celebrate the life Christ died to give us. Absolutely. We can always find something to celebrate. Right? Mark Galvin said he got 4 days off. All right, man. Okay. KMG King got the 3-day weekend. Okay. Mark said he got the Nashville, Tennessee grilling. Okay. Malachi in Indianapolis heading home. Be safe out there on the road, brother. Oh yeah. Oh, Vanessa says she's gonna be out in Clinton with the 90-year-old mom and then to a cookout. Okay. All right. Well, be safe out there. Lori says she's smoking some ribs. All right. Tucson, Arizona barbecue for Timothy Rickner. Okay. What's up, Humble Clay? Texas in the house. Shout out to you, Lil Bud. Appreciate you pulling up. Who's putting the brisket on, man? Oscar Madison said he working tonight. Okay. Hopefully you getting some time and a half or something, right? I hope. Tyron Rose said he cutting grass. Oh, man, you're not supposed to be doing that. Not today. Do that tomorrow. But then again, I guess if you're trying to get the yard ready, you're going to have folks come through or whatever the case may be. What up, Unc? How's it going? You know what? Just for you. Hold up. This just for you. Just for you, Unc. I told you the next time I see you, I'm going to put it on just for you. Should we wear it for the rest of the day? For the rest of the show? Nah. Let me put it back. Put my hat back on. Y'all a trip. Oh, man. So you finally got the 4th off, planning on doing nothing, just relaxing. I can dig that. I can dig it. As you can see, I'm working today, but I won't be working too long. Today's show, it won't be a long show. We won't be long at all. It's not going to be like yesterday, marathon show, 3 hours. It was good, but it was long. It was long. My dog did not like it. He was upstairs whining like, come on, man, somebody got to take me out. What's up, Redefine Queen? How's it going this morning? Amber Young says she got the barbecue, swimming, staying home, having a bunch of friends over with the fireworks. I can dig it. Steve Berger says she's chilling like a villain. Oh, Whitey D. Main said he got the pork shoulder and the brisket already smoking. Okay, I need an invite, bruh. I need an invite. Come on now. All right, H-Town in the house. All right, Mr. Madison. All right. All right, we got Roland Shearer out of Wisconsin in the building. Shout out to you. Jesus is Lord in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. James Guest, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Okay. Angela Montgomery says celebrating the 4th in Costa Rica. Okay, I see you. I'm jealous. Costa Rica. Okay. Now answer this question for me, Angela. Do you live down there or did you just go down there for vacay? I know there's a lot of expats that moved down to Costa Rica back in the day because the cost of living was so cheap. Tyrone Rose says he don't eat pork. Oh, what South Carolina? What South Carolinian or Linian? How do you say that? South Carolinian don't eat pork. Are you kidding me? Wow. I thought y'all were them folks, man. Y'all eat it from the rooter to the tutor. Tyrone, I thought you was hog maws. Oh my goodness. I know y'all South Carolina folks. I already know. What's up, T.A. Caskey? How you doing, brother? Good to see you up in here. It looks like, I'm guessing you got the day off as well. Chilling. Sugar Saint says, why really doesn't matter because you drop a solid show no matter what. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. And Vanessa Hall says, you're great. My husband loves your platform. Awesome. Make sure, I don't know if I've seen him. Maybe I have seen him in the chat, but, hey, send my regards, Mrs. Hall. Tell the hubby I said what's up, and I appreciate him supporting the channel. George Romero said he got to work. What do you got going on? So he's got to work so others don't have to. Okay, appreciate that. All right, what's up, Regina? How you doing today? What's going on? Good to see you up in here. We got Sherlandy in the house, Oklahoma in the building. All right. What up, Spaces? What's going on, brother? What's up, Candace Hall? How you doing today? Appreciate you pulling up. Pedro Herrera, what's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. We got Stephanie in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. All right. Says he live on the top of the Smokies. Okay, out in Tennessee. All right. I'll be down there next week. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing my family. I'll be down there, hang out with my grandmother for a little bit, see some other family members. I'm looking forward to it for sure. It's always a good time, man. Always a good time. Oh, screen name. Okay, screen name from the Odd Couple. Okay, got you. All right, perfect. So we're going to get things kicked off, man. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up, and spending, your morning, your 4th of July morning with me. You could kind of be anywhere else. Some of you guys could sleep in a little bit or whatever the case may be. Okay, Angela says she on vacay. All right, understood. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've heard good things about Costa Rica. I have not had a chance to go, but I've heard really good things. Why you say, come on, bring the dog too. Yeah. What you got going on down there for show? Y'all eating good down there, man. Now, why did he, if I'm not mistaken, you're in North Carolina, right? Is that accurate? All right, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. We're going to get things kicked off. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button for me. Shout out to Lisa with the $20 super chat, kicking things off, supporting the channel. Happy 4th to all. Thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Okay, I missed it. Somebody's birthday today. Uh-oh. Is it my birthday? Okay. All right. Rocky Trump. What's going on, man? Happy birthday to you. Y'all make sure y'all show Rocky Trump some love in the chat. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday to you. Don't overdo it today. Don't go too hard. I know how y'all do. Y'all can go too hard. But let's get things kicked off, man. So again, happy 4th of July to you guys for those that celebrate, and happy Friday and 3-day weekend for those that choose not to celebrate for whatever reason. That's your business. I respect it. This is a free country here in America. You have the ability to, support and celebrate what you'd like to. That's what makes this country so great. You have the ability to do so, but the June's job report that just dropped, and once again, I mean, it's doom and gloom. The doom and gloom crowd, they got it wrong. Once again, the U.S. economy added 147,000 jobs, beating the forecast of 118,000 jobs, crushing Wall Street's fears of less than 100,000 jobs. I mean, it's booming. And the thing is, man, I don't know how many of you guys are in the market, if you follow the market, but the market is booming. The S&P 500, man, if you are invested there, you are very, very happy right now. You're very happy right now if you're invested there. Unemployment dipped to 4.1%, not up like the experts thought. Shout out to Pam Westcott with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. All the experts thought the unemployment was going to go up. It's actually going down. And the bottom line is this, man. The labor markets, they're still rolling. And those folks that swore that Trump's tariffs would kill the economy, yeah, they're eating their words right now. We brought in $121 billion in new revenue last month. I'm looking forward, not last month, that was the month of May. We hadn't heard what was brought in for the month of June. for the month of June. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a big, that's huge. That's huge. And even CNN, they had to admit it. They had to admit that things are looking up. Things are starting to look up.
Expected some of this, but this is better than expected?
Yeah, Sarah, it is. Look, this jobs market is like the Energizer Bunny. Every single time we expect it to run out of steam, it just keeps going and going. So these new numbers show that the U.S. economy added 147,000 jobs in June. That was well ahead of the expectation of about 118,000, well ahead of some whispers that we heard on Wall Street of a sub 100,000 number. So this is indeed beating expectations. We were also expecting a slowdown. We did not get that. This is basically in line with May, which was revised higher. It's also good news. The unemployment rate was expected to go up. It didn't. It went down to 4.1%. That is a very healthy number. This is still relatively historically low. And again, it's below the 4.3% that we had expected.
Yeah. Yeah. That's huge, man. That is huge. 147,000 new jobs. Unemployment down to 4.1%. That is huge. And I would assume that that number is going to continue to come down as more and more companies start to reshore. A lot of these companies, man, they have been offshoring. As they start to reshore, we found out, or we heard that, who is it? GE, they're building a new plant out in Kentucky. Once that opens up, that's going to open opportunities for people. I mean, this is phenomenal. We know the new plants that are being built right now out in Indiana. We know a lot of the up in Michigan, some of the plants that kind of start to slow down, they're actually starting to ratchet up now. We know that this is happening, man. This is huge, man. This is a very good thing. And wouldn't it be great that by 26, man, we get back to the types of job numbers that we saw back in, 2018, 2019, where there were more jobs than people? You guys remember that? Hey, we got to keep talking about it, right? There was a time when there were more jobs than people. And McDonald's was giving out sign-on bonuses, $500,000 sign-on bonuses. When McDonald's is giving out sign-on bonuses to get people to come to work, for them, that is a good sign for everybody else because it just trickles up. In the tech world, man, I remember seeing people getting sign-in bonuses as high as, $50,000, $70,000 sign-on bonuses. I seen this with my own eyes. In the tech world, I got a chance to see it with my own eyes. I know plenty of people, they got big boy sign-on bonuses. Oh, and then the companies were doing great and they were sharing their wealth. Even where I used to work at, and I'm not going to mention where it was, but even myself, quarterly bonuses that were five and 4 and 5 figure, high four figures, and on the lower end of the 5-figure, quarterly bonuses were happening because the company was doing so great and I was doing so great. I mean, these are things that were happening back then. Shout out to Eric Smith with the $20 super chat, says, I'm glad you're covering this. Here's a little money for some of those stocks because I'm one of those reaping those benefits. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Eric. Yeah. If I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't like to tell people what to invest in. But I mean, the market is doing very well. Find a financial advisor that can give you some game, on what to get into and jump into it, man, and take advantage. Don't be one of those people that with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I saw this, but I chose not to because I was scared. Scared money don't make money. You know what I'm saying? Scared money don't make money. Oh, yeah. Silver's up. Gold's up. Yes, Seabergy. Yes. Now, Trump said in January, he said, hey, the golden age of America is coming. We're starting to see it. Now, you got a lot of people out there that will talk about the taxes and the top 20% of people got a tax cut, but people got to understand that majority of the taxes are paid by the top 20%. Let's just keep it a buck. We know that the bottom 20% don't pay taxes at all. We know this. So the bottom 20% doesn't pay taxes. Majority of the taxes are paid by the people that, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the top 25% of earners in the United States of America pay 80% of the taxes. You can go look that up. Right? The bottom 20% of people in America don't pay taxes at all. You know what I'm saying? It might come out, but they tend to get the money back, in the refunds. So majority of your taxes are paid by the people that make the money. Now, that is middle class folks too, because when you start talking top 25% of earners, we're talking middle class people as well. So your upper middle class, upper middle class folks, they're paying majority of the taxes. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? I know someone who I know this person. They paid a little over like $6,000 in taxes last year, but they didn't make that much money. They got a tax refund of more than what they actually paid in taxes. It's the craziest thing ever. So the money that they took out, they gave it back and then some. I know this person. It's the craziest thing ever. Now, the other thing too, though, if you're a single person in the middle class, oh man, you're getting beat. You're getting beat like you stole something. Oh my goodness. If you're a single person in America and you make, I think the number is like $80,000 a year or more, your taxes are your taxes are ridiculous. I know this for a fact. I'm not in that category, but one of my friends is, and he is getting destroyed in taxes because he is a single person. He doesn't have any children to claim. All his kids are grown. You know what I'm saying? So he is in one of the top tier tax brackets. You know what I'm saying? It's not the top of the top, but he's up there and he is getting destroyed in taxes. I told him, I was like, you might need to just take on a wife just for that. You'd save some money. Then again, maybe not. Depending on the type of woman he chose, she might, never mind. Forget I said that. But don't you find it funny how strong growth follows real leadership in the White House? I mean, watching CNN spin this is peak cognitive dissonance. I mean, these analysts, they spent months chanting that the tariffs equal doom. Yet here we are, no bread lines, no runaway inflation. Matter of fact, inflation's down. No economic collapse. Matter of fact, the economy is starting to really take off. Big companies have adapted fast, diversifying suppliers, automating, and building smarter supply chains. Sure, small business is feeling the squeeze. Small business always feels the squeeze, when these types of things change. But overall, the economy is holding up in a way better than expected by the quote unquote so-called experts. I mean, remember when the media swore that these tariffs, would spark the dumbest trade war in history? They promised empty factories, wiped out savings, and mass foreclosures. They basically told us to grab canned beans and brace for impact. And fast forward to the day, guess what? The sky never fell. No matter how badly the media and the Democrats wanted it to fail, it didn't. And now, hey, I don't know if you guys remember this, from a few months ago, but this didn't age well, to say the least.
And basically starts the dumbest trade war in the history of this country. This is going to be about potentially millions of people losing their jobs. It's going to be about millions of people losing their savings, many of people losing their retirement security, and at the same time taking on even higher costs for everything they buy. So that's going to push us in potentially to foreclosures or people being pushed out of their apartments. I remember this from 2008 and how long it took us to dig our way out. And to this day, there are families, there are communities that still haven't recovered. Recessions can be all those fancy charts and graphs, but at the end of the day, people feel them one person at a time, and they can be devastating.
That didn't age well, huh? So none of their doomsday predictions came true. But then again, I mean, if a Democrat congressperson or politician is talking, they're probably lying. Let's just keep it a buck. The economy didn't crash. Markets are currently soaring. Gas is cheaper than 4 years ago, and we're not at war with Iran. Meanwhile, Democrats are still stuck on drama and resistance. And here's a stat that'll make you smile, though. Over 2 million new jobs this year went to native-born Americans. 2 million. While foreign-born employment fell by 500,000. And these aren't gig jobs. We're talking full-time, bread-on-the-table work. Even the bloated federal payroll is shrinking while governments and private businesses do the real hiring, which is what's supposed to happen. And the bottom line is this, man. Strong economy, cheaper gas, secure border, and what's the left? What else do they have to say? What more can they say about it? You know.
Happened. Gas prices down. Economic indicators are decent. Brand new jobs report shows that's much better than expected, and border crossings are down. And now Trump's mega spending bill looks like it's going to be passed by Republicans. How do you Democrats fight back with the wins that Trump can tout?
Well, it depends on how you define wins, Sarah.
I mean, these people don't want to see the country succeed. They don't want to see you succeed. Think about that. Think about that. They don't want the country to succeed. They don't want to see you succeed. So here's where we are right now. Trump's bill, the spending bill, the big, beautiful bill, it passed, packing $50 billion for border security and boosting his deportation plans. But it's bigger than immigration. It's bigger than immigration. It's cutting the red tape on highways, broadband, and giving tax breaks to businesses that hire American workers. It's a shot in the arm for jobs and growth. Now, it's not all perfect. We understand this. It's not all perfect. Last week, ADP's report showed private sector jobs dipped by 33,000, hinting that some small businesses are tapping the brakes on hiring right now. And that's to be expected. That's to be expected. That's exactly why President Trump pushed for the bill, though. Permanent tax cuts, capital investment breaks, and regulatory rollbacks to jumpstart hiring. That's what this is about. The people who hire people, the people who employ people, they should get a break. They should get a break to, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to push growth, and we also need to push innovation. We need that. We need it. And then you have the Fed. Strong jobs mean no immediate rate cuts. Trump's asking for a full point cut, but realistically, we might see a smaller quarter point trim to keep borrowing costs, in check. Especially with $9 trillion in debt rolling over this year. Seriously. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the plan is simple. We got to trim waste, grow the economy, and use rising tax revenue to outpace spending. It's not a crash diet, but a long-term workout plan for America's wallet. Now, let's hear what the doomsdayers, got to say about this. Let's check it out.
Well, then let's think about this. You can't have it both ways. If tariffs going to hurt the economy, then we're going to pick up, according to CBO, if you want to take CBO scoring over the 10-year window, we pick up $2.8 trillion in revenue. And what we've seen so far is that tariffs haven't hurt. The dog that didn't bark was that tariffs going to hurt the economy, we're going to hurt the market. Market had the fastest recovery ever April from a 15% decline, and we're at new highs in the market. So I've made my career on listening to the market, not Wall Street economists, so I'm going to stick with what the market's telling me.
Hey, shout out to Big Moin AZ, gifting 10 ARP family memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Definitely appreciate that. Shout out to Matt Green with the $5 super chat. Says, good morning, Why? Happy Independence Day to you and your family. It's a great day for the American taxpayers. Keep up the good work, bro. God bless. Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. But in this situation right here, in reference to Scott Bessent, I believe he's right. The tariff fear mongers, they were dead wrong. They won't come out and admit it, but they were. China caved, slashing tariffs from 125% down to 10. Inflation barely moved, and American workers saw bigger wage gains than the execs. I mean, this wasn't chaos. It was smart leverage. Globalists hate it, but factories are coming back. And the dollars right now is stronger than ever. Meanwhile, the media is whining about Powell's new Fed HQ and floating resignation rumors. But Bessent's response is, maybe the Fed should cut its own spending first. Hard to argue with that. But the bottom line is, despite the noise, the economy's holding strong. Solid full-time jobs are here and coming, and we're going to see more. We have stable inflation, and rate cuts are on the table, not hikes. And sure, small businesses could use a boost. They could. And the Fed needs to be careful, but America's resilience keeps proving the critics wrong. And that's what the bill is all about. Giving entrepreneurs room to breathe, pushing smart rate cuts, and letting Americans build, hire, and grow. And that's what this is about. And I see the guy up in the chat, and he's talking about the taxes. But like I said, if you are on the lower end of things, poor people don't pay taxes like that. They just don't. Now, they may pay, property tax. They probably don't own homes. They probably pay sales tax and things of that nature. I know probably about it. They pay sales tax and things of that nature. But when it comes to income tax, they don't pay taxes. Again, the masses, the top 25% of Americans pay most of the taxes. They pay 80% of the taxes, the 80-20 rule. Why should people work their tails off, put their money out for risk? Because what we also understand is the people that own the businesses, they're risking their bread. It costs to have an employee. People may or may not understand that for every employee that a company has, they got to pay the tax. They got to pay tax on that employee. So when you own your business, or if you're quote unquote what they call self-employed, some of you guys may not know this. When you're called self-employed, you got to pay the self-employment tax. That means that you pay the full amount of the Medicare, Medicaid, the Social Security tax. You pay the full amount of that. If you work for someone, you pay half, the company pays the other half. Folks don't understand that. So the way you spur growth is, okay, we can cut the corporate tax a little bit. If we can get them to hire more people, and then they hire more people, they're still paying tax because they're still got to pay for every employee. It's this thing, they call it burden. Every employee has a dollar amount attached to them that the company has to pay the federal government for said employee. And let's not include all the other benefits that they have that they give. The health insurance that they supplement, the health life insurance, the dental insurance that they supplement. What else? The 401k matches, that happen. I mean, come on, man. It costs to have an employee. And the thing is that people get frustrated or get upset because, they're cutting taxes on, the corporations who actually hire people who pay the large majority of the taxes. And then you got this thing called, loopholes. And Eric Smith, you're absolutely right. When you're an independent contractor, you pay all of that tax for you. You know what I'm saying? You pay it all. But I don't think a lot of people understand that when you have a job, the company is responsible for taking care of half of what a self-employed individual would pay 100%. They don't understand that there is a cost to each employee that a company has. And that number it's not a low number. It's a pretty significant number. Shout out to, how do you say that? Dangy or Dagny? I might be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize if I am. Dagny Taggart, thank you for joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, I personally, I think a lot of people may have argued for a flat tax rate. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with that. But the thing is that the people on the lower end don't want that because they don't currently pay taxes right now. You know what I'm saying? The people on the lower end of things, they don't want the flat tax rate because they don't actually pay taxes. What's up, Kenneth? What's going on with you, brother? But in other news, California just pulled off something that, honestly, I thought I'd never see. Gavin Newsom, yes, the slick-haired French laundry frequenting governor, the right loves the roast, chipped away at the single most destructive housing regulation on the West Coast. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this, but I want you guys to see this for yourself. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up.
The Times, spurred by Governor Newsom, state lawmakers are reversing course when it comes to environmental protections, rolling back decades of environmental regulations in hopes of expediting.
People got to understand that the reason why houses are so expensive in California, it's not because California is just such a great place and everybody wants to live there. The reason why their housing is so expensive is because they're over-regulated. The regulation is just crazy. Do you guys know that if you own a house in California and you wanted to build a new deck, you wouldn't believe what you'd have to go through. First off, it's going to take you 6 months to get a new deck built on your house. You got to pay for like 2 or 3 different inspectors. I mean, there's all types of craziness that happens. And that's why housing is so crazy out there. The median house right now is almost $1 million in California. And it's not because the house is so great. I mean, we're talking cracker boxes, and I'm not, denigrating those that live in small houses, but there's so much red tape. I met a guy, they were in the Bay Area. They had I think it was like a 2-bed, 1-bath, or maybe it was a 3-bed, 1-bath, but it was small. It was less than like 1,400 or 1,500 square feet. And he said that their house was going on the market for almost $1 million. I'm like, dude, less than 1,500 square feet for $1 million is insane. That is crazy. Who's buying this? Makes no sense to me.
Home building, but not everyone's applauding this new idea for fast-tracking homes. Here's NBC's Valina Jones.
What we're talking about is saving years in the development scheme.
In what's being called a historic move, the state is sweeping away longtime environmental restrictions that many believe have fueled the state's housing shortage. The governor has.
Hey, Eric, that's why I've been telling you, bro, you got to get out of D.C., man. You got to get out of D.C. D.C. is ridiculous. D.C. is ridiculous. I can't think of too much that's good about living in D.C. I just can't. The crime is insane. The taxes are crazy. Parking is outrageous. The housing is just ridiculously high. I wouldn't dare live in D.C. I wouldn't dare. You couldn't pay me to live in that city, man.
Now signed new legislation championed by the Bay Area Council, a business advocacy group who says the Bay Area is hundreds of thousands of units behind in home development.
There's a big backlog of need, and we just haven't been building housing the way we used to for about the last 50 years in California. So, this should begin to turn that around.
The two bills overhaul the 1970s California Environmental Quality Act.
Hey, 88 clips, man. 3-bed, 2-bath for $820 is ridiculous. Oh my good dude, that is insane. That is insane.
Act requires a detailed environmental examination of any new development. The new law creates exemptions for high-density projects and other developments. It also accelerates legal review that has tied up prior projects for years.
We can tell our kids and our grandkids, you're going to be able to stay in this community. You're not going to be forced out because of the unavailability of housing.
Governor Newsom previously threatened to reject the state budget without the housing reforms. In a statement saying in part it proves what's possible when we govern with urgency, with clarity, and with a belief in abundance over scarcity.
We're all experiencing this housing crisis so deeply. But we're left wondering, why do we have to choose between housing and our community health?
The California Environmental Justice Alliance says the new solution only creates other problems. They believe the new exemptions will accelerate manufacturing projects, impact urban communities, and could cause more pollution in already contaminated neighborhoods.
I'm concerned that we're going to, just be able to push through these projects very quickly in environmental justice communities and have neighbors, community members, families, health impacted, their water impacted.
Mason says the Alliance will continue to fight for future legislations to restore critical environmental protections. Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
Hey, Eric A said Maryland isn't much better. It's a whole heck of a lot better than DC, but I do agree with you. And Maryland's actually getting worse, man. We just had the largest tax increase in state history that goes into effect. If I'm not mistaken, it goes into effect starting next year. They're making it hard to stay here. If I didn't have such a really low interest rate on my house, I definitely would be looking to pack up and leave. And I am still, looking to pack up and leave, but it makes it really, really difficult, when the interest rate is so low. It really does, especially if the interest rates are going to continue to stay where they are, hovering at, 6-7%. It's just hard to throw away, that 2 or 3% interest rate, man. It's just hard to do it. It's hard to throw that away, man. But here's what's happening, man, out there in California. So buried inside of California's massive $320 billion budget were two key bills, AB 130 and SB 131, that finally cracks open the California Environmental Quality Act, or the CEQA, as everybody calls it. Everybody loves these acronyms. If you've ever wondered why a starter home in Fresno cost as much as a Pittsburgh brownstone, CEQAs, that's your culprit right there. For over 50 years, this law lets anyone, from unions demanding project labor deals to NIMBYs protecting their ocean views, block new housing with lawsuits over things like shadows and noises, or visual blight. The results: endless legal delays and housing prices surging 50% higher than what they should be. So what did Newsom do? He carved out an exemption. Housing projects over 50 units or fewer, built on existing infill lots inside city limits, can now bypass the worst CEQA roadblocks. It's not a full fix, but for small urban projects, it's a win, and it's definitely a step in the right direction for those folks. Yeah, but it's still crazy. It's still crazy. The environmental whack jobs out there are the reason that, a small cracker box of a house is almost $1 million. It's insane. It's insane.
To the NIMBY movement that's now being replaced by the YIMBY movement. Go YIMBYs. Thank you for your abundant mindset. It's a plug to Ezra. And it really is about abundance. And to the movement that they represent, which I think was reflected in the comments made a moment ago about getting big stuff done.
Shout out to Brian, is it Rookert? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. With the $10 super chat, says NIMBYs love regulation, building codes, and is that environment? Environmental or building codes and enviro that limit development, drive up costs all around. California bill is a start. Yeah, it's a start. They need to do more, though. They need to do more. The crazy thing is that if Kamala Harris wins the governorship in California, she'll probably reverse all of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever progress they are, what little bit of progress they're starting to make out there, she'll probably reverse all of that. She'll probably reverse all of that. Eric A said his 3.5%. I'm assuming he's talking about his 3.5% mortgage interest rate is keeping him here for now. Yeah, hey, I got 2.5. I got 2.25. Way back when, and I'm telling you, man, that's the thing that it makes me think every time I think about moving, and I look at places, and I want to move, but when I think about how cheap and how low my mortgage is right now and my interest rate, I don't want to give it up. I get text messages, I get calls from the mortgage company all the time. Talk about trying to give me some money so they can take my daggone interest rate, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I've been to Cali, and it is nice out there. It's been a long time since I've been out there, but the last time I was out there, it was nice. I've been to San Diego. I've been Southern California. I haven't been to the Bay Area, but I've been Southern California. I've been, in the LA area, San Bernardino area, and, I've been down in San Diego. Nice. Weather's, gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's nice, man. Nice. Craig Blanton says a 5,000 square foot home in Central Kentucky with a finished basement will go for around 400,000. See, I don't even need that much. It's just me, wifey, and the dog. Well, my youngest son still lives with us, but I don't even need that much. So if that's 400,000, what can I get for $152? Shout out to Dougie too with the $20 super chat. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you, appreciate that. Oh yeah, San Diego's gorgeous, man. Beautiful place, man. Beautiful place. Everybody I know when I was in the military that was stationed out there, man, they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave. They did not want to leave that place, but they couldn't afford to live there on a military salary, even with the BAH that they give you. Even with that, because it's just so crazy expensive. Gas is expensive, food's expensive out there. It's outrageous. It was the same thing, man. When I was stationed out in Hawaii, and I get why Hawaii is so expensive. It is a democratic place. There is a lot of regulation out there as well. And then it's an island, and there's not a whole lot to build on, right? I remember seeing people were renting out. What were they renting out? They were renting out walk-in closets. A walk-in closet was being rented out. You could only put like a small twin bed in there, and you might be able to get one of those little small dressers. And they were renting out a walk-in closet. This was out in Hawaii. This was in Kailua. If you know, you know. And they were renting that thing out, man. It was like $1,600 or $1,700. And this is back in like 2006. I couldn't even imagine what they're renting it out for today. But even back then, this was a walk-in closet. Oh, LJ, you were at the Schofield Barracks? Oh, I'm guessing you're one of the Army folks. We're not gonna hold that against you. We're not gonna hold that against you. I was on Marine Corps Base Hawaii, out in Kaneohe Bay and Kailua. So when you come out the back gate, you're in Kailua. When you come out the front gate, you're in Kaneohe Bay. It just depends on where you lived at. And we're on the Kailua side. And but I have been out there. I have been out to the Schofield Barracks, and I've been on that side of things. We lived out there for a while, and I've been all over Oahu. I traveled all around Oahu. My youngest son was actually born at the Pink Elephant, out there, Tripler. I know you're familiar. The Big Pink Elephant. That's what they call it, the Big Pink Elephant, but it's actually Tripler. Is that Tripler Naval Hospital? I think that's what it's called, Tripler Naval Hospital. But great place to visit. I enjoyed living out there for about a year. Year two, I was ready to go home. Year two, I was like, okay, I've been on here. I've been on this rocket long enough. I'm ready to leave. And I think what really got me is we had an earthquake out there, and it was during football season. And I'm gonna keep going. It was during football season. So anybody that's been out there, if you've been stationed out there, if you're watching football, you got to get up early. So we'd be at the sports bar at 7 o'clock in the morning, because it's a 6-hour time difference, and you're there so you can get your spot. And I was out there, man. We had an earthquake on a Sunday during the football, and I thought, like, I was on the base. I was at the base sports bar. We're watching the game, and I was like, man, a freaking airplane, they're flying awfully low, and it normally don't really fly like that on Sundays like that. But maybe they're training exercises or whatever. And I felt that, man. And then the second time, it like really shook, and I was like, oh no, that was the first time I'd ever been through an earthquake before. And that's when I was like, okay, I got to get up off of this thing. This isn't for me. This isn't for me. I was like, nope. That earthquake stuff is no joke. But let's get back to California. Shout out to Whitey D. May, man, joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What's up, Crystal? How you doing this morning? Happy 4th to you as well. Appreciate you pulling up. But let's get back to Cali real quick, and we're going to keep it moving. So California, obviously, they loosened the chokehold of the CEQA, which is the law that basically let the unions, NIMBYs and activist groups weaponize environmental rules to stall construction unless developers paid up or met their political demands. So basically, who these people are and what they are is they're shakedown artists, essentially. They're shakedown artists. You know what I'm saying? They're no different than the mob. They're just shakedown artists. Pay us so you can build. That's pretty much who these people are and what they've been doing, and that's why they stifled housing growth, out there in California. Now inside, pre-approved city zones, small housing projects, they can move forward without being sued into oblivion. Sacramento even called it the most consequential housing reform in modern California history. And this is coming from the folks who banned plastic straws. That right there in itself is saying something because, this is still California. There is a catch. The reform only applies in certain urban areas. Sunsets if local governments add new red tape and Newsom stapled, on his usual progressive wish list. Renters tax credits, climate mandates, and a green bond debt that taxpayers will pay for decades. But y'all know why he's doing this. Y'all know why he's doing this. This isn't because, Newsom had some come to Jesus moment. This isn't the reason why, this is being passed. The reason why this is being passed right now, he knows he's on his way out the door, and Newsom that is eyeing a presidential run. And California's housing crisis or housing disaster, it's killing his resume. After 7 years, homes topped 800,000. Homelessness is rampant. And even Democrats admit that CEQA has crushed middle-class home ownership. It's almost impossible to own a home out there, unless it's 4 or 5 of y'all going in on the daggone mortgage. The fix is narrow, but somewhat meaningful. Fewer lawsuits on smaller projects, a slight boost in housing supply, and maybe, just maybe, if cities don't rebuild the red tape, California sees its first housing surge since the 1960s. We'll give some credit where credit is due. Newsom finally touched the CEQA third rail, but let's not pretend that he did it for the people, because we know he didn't. He did it for his White House ambitions. You know it, I know it, but at least it is getting done, man. So for the people out in California, if you are in these urban areas, I'd be interested to see what that map looks like. I would assume that it's probably in areas that are not super safe right now. Skid Row and other neighborhoods that you probably shouldn't be rolling in by yourself at night, or probably during the daytime either. I'm just saying. But anyway, while California is chipping away at red tape, there's a bigger story brewing across the nation just in time for the 4th of July. Americans are feeling they're feeling a renewed sense of pride in our country. And it's hitting levels that we hadn't seen in over a decade. As folks get ready, I know a lot of folks got they smokers already, working, because y'all know it takes a little bit to smoke that meat. It's the best way to cook, though. I'm a big fan of smokers and smoked meat. I'm a big fan. It's the best way to cook. So, as Americans, light up the grills, hey, sit around and wait on the smokers to do what it do. And light up the skies, with the fireworks for Independence Day. There is a vibe shift that is starting to happen. And it's one that got people from all corners standing a little taller right now. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a good thing to see. That it is, man. That it is.
July 4th. It's amazing that it's a 3-day weekend. It's the first time it's happened in years. But national pride, also good news there, ticking up ahead of this Independence Day. A new Fox poll finds that 58% of Americans are proud of the country today, and that's up 13% from June of last year. I'd like the number to be higher than 58%, but a 13% increase is no joke. David, what do you think? What's driving this increase in patriotism?
Oh, well, I think most recently Iran, the fact that this was an insoluble problem for decades. Suddenly, within 6 months of his taking the office, it became not completely solved. It's not over with them, but really taken care of. I remember 2 cases when this happened, this kind of pride. One was the Morning in America, Ronald Reagan. Patriotism became an in thing. And the other was after 9/11, when even in Manhattan, just about every apartment building had an American flag. This is a very, very positive. It contrasts so dramatically with what we're seeing right now with the Democrats just bad-mouthing America, bad-mouthing the economy beginning to get back on its feet again. What a contrast between patriotism and saying this anti-American stuff that's coming out of the Democrats right now.
I couldn't agree more. And
Yeah, that's huge, man. That is huge, man. I love it. That is some positive news right there, man. That is some positive news right there. Let me click that off, man. Oh, so here's the deal. According to, a new Fox News poll, 58% of Americans say that they're proud of the country. That's the highest number in over a decade, which is crazy, right? That's crazy. Just looking at this, it was unbelievable, to be honest with you. That 58% is the highest number that we've had in over a decade of people who actually appreciate the nation. That's wild. I'm not saying that we're perfect. Obviously we're flawed. We're run by people. The country's ran by people, and people are flawed, right? So of course the country is going to be flawed. But this is our nation, right? This is the only one that we have. There's nowhere else for us to go. So on this 4th of July, 2025, in my opinion, hearing that people are really starting to appreciate the country, we're also starting to see a renaissance of Christianity come back and happen in this nation, which is something that I think that I'm more excited and more happy about the renaissance of Christianity in our country than I am about the amount of patriotism that we're seeing in our country, or the growth of patriotism that we're seeing in this country. I'm excited about that, but the renaissance of Christianity, and we got more and more young people that are finding the faith and following the faith, getting into the word, understanding that, the Bible is the true living word of God. We're starting to see more and more people go back to the word because it works, right? It's real and it works. And I'm glad to see it. We're starting to see more and more young people. We're seeing it on college campuses. We're starting to see it. It's almost like we have a somewhat of a spiritual revival, starting to happen, across this country. And I'm 100% here for it, man. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that. But I'm also glad to see that people are, starting to be more appreciative of the country that we live in. Again, it's not perfect, but I will say this, man. If you've ever traveled outside the nation, there are some places that are cheaper out there that are a whole lot cheaper. There are some places that you can go that are a lot more affordable. But even those people that do decide to leave, and God bless those people. There's expats all across the world. And God bless those people that do decide that, hey, I'm gonna go live in Thailand. I'm gonna go move to the Philippines. I'm gonna go move down to Costa Rica, Belize, Colombia, Brazil, because just the cost of living is a lot cheaper. Maybe they want better weather or something along those lines. But they tend to still get their money right here in the good old United States of America. There's not a whole lot of people leaving the nation and doing business or opening up businesses in other countries. They tend to, nowadays, because it's digital, everybody has the ability to do things, in a digital form, in a digital capacity. You can make money in that way, and most of those people still make money right here in the States. That's what I didn't understand. When people were going crazy about the tariffs, I'm like, heck, most of the countries, that we need to tax, they do most of their business right here in this country. So if we cut them off, they're cutting off, in some cases, 40, 50% of their revenue. So I assume that because of that, they're going to come to the table with good faith, because this is where they make their money at. And even the people that leave and they move, they still make their money right here in the country. And a lot of people make their money right here in the country. Think about how many people come over here, make their money, and was sending it back to their home countries. And in some cases, the money that was being sent back was making up 2 to 3, 4% of certain countries' GDPs. Mexico and India, to be exact, and there's a few others out there. Think about that, man. So it's huge to see that on the 4th of July, 2025, that number is rising. We have 58% of people that say that, hey, man, are proud of the nation that they live in. That's a good thing. And that number isn't just a stat. It's a spark. It means more Americans are looking at this nation, flaws and all, and saying, yeah, it's still worth fighting for, because it is. The 4th isn't only about fireworks and cookouts. It's about 1776, when ordinary people took on the empire and claimed the right to build their own future. I mean, the reality of it is today is truly the real No King's Day in the grand scheme of things, if you really think about it. They didn't create a perfect nation, but they lit a fire of freedom that still burns hot today. Patriotism isn't blind loyalty. It's not. It's not blind loyalty. It's loving this country enough to fix what's broken and protect what's right. And that 58%, hey, that's pride in the grit, the hustle, and the heart of the American people, the ones who build, fight, and keep pushing forward. But we can't just stop at pride. America's a work in progress. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's a work in progress. It's about neighbors helping neighbors, parents raising strong kids, and communities stepping up, not waiting on Washington. And for the 42% of people who aren't proud yet, that's our challenge. That's our challenge right there, to make this country a place that they can be proud of. So this Independence Day, when the fireworks light up the sky, remember the spirit of 1776 still lives in us all. Let's keep building a country worth celebrating, worth fighting for. America's story of freedom isn't just about one group of people. It's about all of us. Black patriots like Crispus Attucks, the first to give his life during the Revolutionary War, soldiers like Peter Salem, who stood on the front lines at Bunker Hill. Hey, it's about us all, man. It's about us all. And when you see, like I have pictured here, Crispus Attucks, when you see, those who stood on the front lines at Bunker Hill, when you hear about the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, one of the first integrated fighting forces in our history, they fought not just for independence from Britain, but they fought for a future where freedom could belong to everyone. And that's the pride of America, a nation built by people of every background, every color, all fighting for liberty. Their courage is a part of our heritage, and their story, it deserves to be told. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Happy 4th of July to each and every one of you guys. We are not done yet. We got a whole lot. We got a whole lot more to fight for. We got a whole lot more winning. We got a whole lot more winning. So I appreciate you guys pulling up. I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Thank you very much, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Hey, be safe out there. I get it. It's 4th of July. It's the cops are going to be out. I know people are going to drink. People are going to maybe overindulge, in too much food and things of that nature, man. Be safe out there, man. Keep your head on a swivel. If you're going to a large gathering, definitely be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. There's some crazy people out there. So just make sure you guys be safe out there, man. Please be safe. Enjoy the long weekend. And, I definitely appreciate you guys, man. Definitely appreciate you guys. So, hey, as always, man, I appreciate you guys pulling up today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning, man. You guys have a great weekend, man. Be safe out there, man. God bless you all. Y'all take care, man.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.